Video 6 of a 7-part series. Japan Pimp. 12:40 a.m. Japan time. Damn. Anyway, this is 6 of a 7-part series. We're talking about things that make players lose interest in Evony Age 2 and eventually quit. And that's bad for everybody. Bad for Evony, bad for players. We're not here to attack Evony. We're just here to bring out some things, some feedback, and hopefully, um, things will be thought about internally at Evony and changes will be made. The other purpose of all this is just to help players not get discouraged and understand what the issues are, um, so that they can, be patient and hopefully wait for changes to come down the road. Okay, so in part 6, we're going to talk about the King quest and why that is discouraging for some players, actually a lot of players in Evony Age 2. Now, the King quest concept, it's really cool. I like it, and almost all the players do. You can do a quest in Evony Age 2, and that quest will allow you to, for the lack of a better word, it will allow you to win a special superhero. And we all know that heroes are the foundation of being a strong player, and this special superhero you can win from the quest is a king or queen. And that superhero has is supposed to be loyal to you always. You have no chance of losing that hero, because the hero's loyalty is not even an issue like the rest of the heroes. The problem is, once you do that quest and you get your king or your queen, sometimes players are losing them. Now, even though the king or the queen has a non-existent loyalty factor, your other normal heroes have a loyalty factor, and when loyalty drops from 100 down to 50 and it keeps dropping down to 0 or whatever, you stand a chance of losing that hero because the loyalty goes down. But the king or queen you win from the quest, that doesn't have a loyalty factor tied to it. So, what happens is, some players are losing their king and queen, even though there's no loyalty factor. Well, how is that? Well, that's because they have their king or queen in a city, a historic city, or a city that's capturable, and a rival comes in and captures the city where their king or king is residing, and that rival, as part of capturing that city from the other player, that rival gets their king or queen. Now, I have personally seen some players in Ebony Age 2 with up to 10, 20 kings and queens. Now, if the king or queen is supposed to be part of a quest that every player can get one, why are they losing them? If there's 0 loyalty, and if loyalty is not a factor, and why do some players have 10 or 20 and other players have 0 because they lost them? They weren't supposed to lose them to begin with, and that's the player's understanding. Because if loyalty is not a factor, with that hero, how can that hero, basically defect over to a rival if loyalty is not even a factor? So a lot of players are getting discouraged in Ebony Age 2 because they go through the time to complete the quest to win their king or queen, and the next thing you know, they lose it. And they can't do the quest again. There's no chance of them recovering that king or queen. And now they're at a huge disadvantage to all the rest of the players in the game. So, it's kind of like a kid who wants an ice cream cone like everyone else, and then you say, okay, kid, here's your ice cream cone, and then, some bully comes along and takes their ice cream cone from them, and then the kid starts crying, and then Evony says, hey, tough kid, um, you don't get another ice cream cone, I'm sorry. Well, if that kid wants another ice cream cone, give him another ice cream cone, you know, and stop the bullies from taking the ice cream cones because they weren't supposed to do it to begin with. So, Ebony really needs to clarify, the king or queen heroes and the king or queen hero quest. If you're winning a hero that's supposed to be loyal just to you forever, then why is that hero being captured by another player? That's a question a lot of players have in Ebony Age 2, and a lot of players are getting discouraged because they're losing their kings or queens, and as a result, they're at a huge disadvantage. So, they're losing their ice cream and they have no chance of getting it back. And I'm sure a lot of players would be more than happy to have the opportunity to get a king or queen back if they paid a few game coins to do the quest again. That's something I strongly feel Ebony needs to change. In fact, all these 7 videos I feel Ebony really needs to take a serious look at. Maybe I'm the only guy saying this stuff. I really don't care, because if you put a group of engineers in a room and 99 of the engineers don't bring anything up, but then one of the 100 engineers says, hey guys, uh, I don't think this is a good idea, what about this? Well, the other 99 need to listen to the other guy. So just because I may be the only one saying some of this stuff, doesn't mean it carries any less weight or whatnot. So let's move on to video number 7. That'll be the final video. We'll talk about cities in Ebony Age 2 and players losing them. This is Japan Pimp signing out. Stay tuned for the last video of this series.